So hey Dad, I've been watching over a lot of the videos from the past. There was a lot of footage from the 90s. A lot of fun times, playing over the computer network. A lot of memories that I probably, just lingered in the back. But it was kind of nice to actually see them again. Brought back a lot of memories. I couldn't help but to think that those cables running across the house all over the place, through the basement ceiling, from room to room. That was high-tech stuff. Nobody else had a LAN, but we had a LAN. That was cool. And before that, it was dial-up, right? So and I got to experience that before everybody else did. And I was just watching these videos, and just a lot of the videos were Christmas, actually. Of all the Christmases that we were together. I still remember a lot of the Christmases, and to be honest, I remember a lot of the gifts I opened that were from you, from each of those Christmas. One of them being Spider-Man Super Nintendo game. I still remember exactly which one it was too. I remember a lot of the gifts that you still that you gave to me. And they meant a lot to me. And now here we are, Christmas 2018. Wow, another year has come by and it's gonna be gone. Time just flies by. Now I know there isn't much that probably means a whole lot to you these days. After all, there's nothing I could buy for you that you couldn't obtain for yourself. I figured though that sometimes the greatest gift is the gift of appreciation. Merely just loving the gift that you have given to me. I guess in a sense, this is a repurposing of a gift. The most valuable and expensive gift of all that only a loving man could have spared, and that is time. Something that you have chosen. Yes, chosen. And let me explain. As when you came into my world, you loved my mother, who was the world to me. She needed a break, and you were the man for her. As much as she needed her children, she needed you, Dad. And then you were there. I remember getting into trouble or making mom upset, and then I got in trouble for making mom upset. You wanted nothing else but to make her happy, and for that makes me happy. Yet in loving my mother, you have chosen to love me. Yes, you have chosen that as well, because you didn't have to stay. You too could have left, because for damn sure, my own father didn't stay. For that, you are a hero. You stepped in when the man who was supposed to be there didn't even want us. You did. For that, Dad, I love you. So I thought about all that you chose to be, to me, Mom, and the family. There is no doubt that deep down in my heart, I love you dearly.
Heart beats fast
For most of the years, we hide our expressions of sincerity towards our true feelings about each other in our lives. The awkwardness is only because we want to talk. It's only because we don't know what to say, but the awkwardness means everything because it tells me that we want to. And this is how I know you love us. We know without a word said that you have fought for us. We have lots to say, but because we are so worried about how to say it and how you would take it. But I guess at this point, it's almost pointless to hold back the things I want to express honestly and the things I should have done. First off, I wish I could have called you dad years before. There was never a man who could be more of a dad to me. And I was always afraid that if I called you dad, that you wouldn't accept me as your son. But how foolish of me. If you didn't accept me, I have already accepted you. For years and years, you were my dad and the only dad I could have known. Watching the old videos, I found that they were missing one thing. The real memories. Memories far before the camera rolls and the pictures were taken. There was so much more. Man, you were really there. From the good to the bad, from the laughs, smiles, and tears. We were one wild ride, and that ride, I had a chance to experience a few things. The love of a father who, just by the slight hair of a chance, I would have missed completely. To witness how a husband loves a woman, to defend her happiness by the sheer effort, even if the man had weakness, holes, and gaps, yet to strive to keep a happy home and a happy wife. That I learned I had no man to show me, and the world would always teach the opposite, yet I aspired to love my wife because I had a father who loved my mother. My earliest memories with you was being sick. You picked me up from school. Mother told me she had a friend to come pick me up, and that person was you. When Mother couldn't, the first person there was you. I remember being caught kissing the TV when there was a girl on the screen. You caught me, and then I started hating you. I remember that. I remember calling you and talking to you on the phone, and you said you weren't coming back unless I apologized. I said sorry, and from then on we became best friends. I sat on the bed watching you play Jill of the Jungle, Blues Brothers, and other pixelated side-scrolling games. How amazing those games were back then. But even more so, it was hanging out with my best friend. I remember calling you at work to ask you how to pass the level in King's Quest. And then you telling me all I had to do was hide the character behind a boulder and then the door would magically open. The first game console and every game console after, I was always the first to get one. The Super Soaker, I was the first to get one. A CCM green mountain bike with racer handles and turn handle gear switches, I was the first to get one. Yet being a father is not about gifts, it is about the memories that we have shared. Our scheduled Slurpee runs, playing Doom. I remember the first time playing Doom by myself, I was scared. I needed to play it with you. I remember sitting down at the breakfast table watching Hercules and Pan blowing his silly, ridiculous flute, with those 80 retro cartoon animations. I remember talking to you on the phone, excited to hear from you when you're away, for your schooling. And you brought home Math Blaster for me on those old floppy disks. I still remember exactly what that game was like. I remember renting the old X-Men cartoons and eating burgers at Willie's Hamburgers. I don't think Willie's Hamburgers is around anymore, but every time I drive by, I still remember those days. I tell my wife every time we drive by, I say that is where me and Dad used to go to eat burgers and rent movies. Man, do I miss those video rentals. I miss those simple days, collecting Marvel cards, reading comic books. You really were my best friend. But beyond the comic books, the video rentals, the one who was always first in line, the endless bonding, killing green, yellow, and blue mobs in online massive multiplayer games, collecting relics, killing demons, and other virtual adventures. There's one moment that stood out above all of those. That each time that I got in trouble, you never ever failed to let me know that you still loved me. The floors were getting done, and they're being stripped for the day and waxed, and I was trapped in the room. I felt that earlier that day I had disappointed you. I couldn't remember for what, but nonetheless I still remember that memory vividly. And you were out of the house, and yes, again I was trapped in that room. I couldn't go out to the floor, and I was just in my room. And I remember from the window there was a hand that came up, and with a slight knock on the window, it was you. You had the ladder up against the wall of the house, and in your hands you had McDonald's for me. I opened the window, you handed me the McDonald's, and then after I climbed out of the window, and then we were off. I don't know, probably to rent a movie or something. But to me that was like a Romeo and Juliet, the father-son version. Yes, as cheesy as it sounds, that memory stands out like a sore thumb. Now I know this ride, this journey, of us together wasn't just about me, and I know that I just want to get out there that this is how I feel about you. This is how I remember you. And how much you mean to me. So much I would have missed. So much I wouldn't have had if you didn't come into our lives. And this is exactly how I see you. And I will always remember those moments. You taught me so much about how to be a father. More significantly than you might know. Now I want to be that Romeo and Juliet version of a father for my kids. And it's because of you. And when I'm upset with my kids, I also show them I love them because you did that for me. It wasn't extravagant, but it was enough that I had a hero who stood up to be my father. More importantly, the husband who loves my mother. I think it doesn't take much, and sometimes it's the simple things that make the journey so beautiful. I'm very glad to have had you in my life. I love you, Dad. P.S. I think that you and Mother should get married. Even just on paper. I love you.